Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Most Important Conversations daily meditation series. This series is focused on the theme of liberation, and each meditation that we do Monday through Friday begins with a talk on various themes or sub-themes inside of liberation, and these talks are derived from our larger body of work called Whole Life Architecture, which is also a community where participants are liberating themselves from their conditioning and becoming the powerful creator of their life so that they can create a life by design as opposed to merely tolerating a life by default. It is a active community where people are individually wrestling with their own stuff, their own conditioning, and doing the work to liberate themselves, but also doing it in concert with other people as a community, because one of the things that we teach is that self-help is a misnomer, that you can't actually help yourself. It's a great marketing tool to convince you that you are an island unto yourself and that you don't need to be in community and grow in community and learn in community and co-create in community. But that lie and that narrative has got us the world that we have. So we are really very much standing in the gap and saying a new way must be created. And so these meditations are meant to open and activate new perspectives, new insights that you can take and apply to your daily life. And we have been talking about over the last couple of weeks inside of the sub-theme of liberation, specifically that of compassion and suffering. And this is a big theme because suffering is a common human state, and rarely do we try to get to the bottom of what is the source of our suffering. Where does it stem from? What drives it? What activates it? Instead, we end up living lives we're tolerating, and much of what we're tolerating is our suffering. And we shouldn't be existing inside of a state of suffering, even though it is a natural part of life. Our ability to be with it and to create with it and to understand the triggers of it that cause it, that activate it in our life, are an important part of liberating yourself. One of the areas and the ways that we experience suffering is through what we know as projection. Projection is the mirror reflection of yourself. Projection is when we look out into the world and we project upon it, or we look out onto other people and we project upon them that which we are, and we mistake it for the world or for them. In other words, what you believe, you will perceive. Whatever your belief system is, whatever you believe about people, whatever you believe about the world, whatever you believe about yourself, whatever you believe about what's possible for yourself, you will perceive that. Because as creators, everything is our own creation, beginning with our perception, how we perceive the world around us, how we define and quantify and qualify our experience of reality. Whatever real is for you is a projection. It begins with your perception. And also, your perception leads to the creation of a belief system. So what you perceive, you will believe, and what you believe, you will perceive. These are recursive things that feed into each other. And in projection, what we believe and what we perceive is active. So whatever we believe through projection, we will find those beliefs. We'll find evidence for those beliefs out into the world. And then we will perceive more of that, reinforcing the belief system and so projection is the active mode, the active default mode of pushing out into the world our beliefs, and then we perceive and bring them back in and recursively reinforce that belief system. So it can become a trap, or it could become a powerful tool for creativity, but it begins with what we believe. Because what we will believe, we will project, and what we project, we will perceive, and what we perceive, we will recursively bring back into our belief system, and it becomes evidence of that belief system. So this is an important mechanic to really understand, because we are not existing in a state where we are experiencing absolute objective reality. No one is. Everyone's experience of reality is their own creation. And so that's not philosophical. Put another way, your life is your own creation. Your life seems real. It seems real to you. It occurs as real to you. Real in the sense that it is absolute. It is external to you. It is outside of your control. Life happens to you. Whenever we are in the victim state of living, which most people are living as victims right now, it's because we are observing life outside, as though it is outside of us, as though we have nothing to do with it, as though we are not co-creators of that experience. So life happens to us. It occurs to us as objectively real outside of us, not realizing that the equation of belief leading to projection, leading to perception, reinforcing belief is really what's at work here, which is why people have different perceptions of life, leading to different belief systems, leading them to project their belief systems onto others, onto the world, and the whole dance goes around. And when we run into someone with a different belief system, we become reactivated oftentimes, or threatened, because our very experience of what we believed was objective reality outside of ourselves, the reality that occurs as though it happens to us, is now threatened. And that's destabilizing for us, and it leads to the condition of suffering. It is destabilizing when our worldviews, our paradigms, which are constructs or artifacts of our beliefs, our projection, our perception, when our worldviews are challenged, our whole identity gets challenged, because suddenly what's at risk is the illusion that we're just happily going on this journey through this objective reality that's outside of us, that we have no responsibility to it or about it. It's just there. And then someone else has a different belief system. They're projecting their belief system onto us and the environment, and they're having a different perception. And then we've clashed with that individual or that circumstance. And suddenly the whole illusion is fractured. And so to bring coherence, to bring a sense of security, to bring a sense of predictability back into our experience, we must get rid or confront or fight the other person, the other side that is fracturing, I should say, our perception of reality. And this is why wars occur. Wars occur not because it's an act of self-preservation to stay alive. Wars begin as an idea. And the idea is that the other side is fracturing our perception of this objective reality. So instead of being powerful creators of our own life from within, because we are consuming, but we're not realizing we've created it, but we are consuming this so-called apparent external reality, even though we're the creator of it through our belief, projection, perception equation. We're blind to that. We don't see how we are the creators of it. So it occurs as it's outside of us. And if our outside reality is threatened by another who has a different version of what reality could look like, whether that's a different religion, a different political system, a different kind of social construct, We then conflate our lifestyle, which is all we're really talking about here, with our life. So your lifestyle is your belief system. Your lifestyle inside of your belief system includes your religious beliefs, your beliefs about humanity, your beliefs around value systems. And then you project those religions, those value systems, those beliefs about the world. You project that out into the world, and then you perceive it back into yourself. When someone else fractures that or interrupts that, the whole charade is at risk of falling apart. The whole illusion you have created is at risk. So you must defend it to the death. That's what's going on there. To liberate yourself from that cycle of suffering, which is really what it ends up being, because now if I have to defend, I have to go to war. And that war could be a physical war, as in countries going to war, or it could be warring with other sub-communities inside of your country, inside of your society. It could be warring with family members. Anyone who is a threat to your very delicately balanced lifestyle that you have created, you conflate as a threat to your life, because you are not accessing your power as creator within. You are merely consuming your own creation from without and mistaking it as though you had nothing to do with it in the first place. When we practice liberation, what we are practicing is extricating ourselves from that conditioning and from that self-imposed game, so that we can enter a state of no thingness, meaning we are no longer beholden to some external construct that we created and then convinced ourselves we didn't. But we are at any time self-generating our reality from within, moment by present moment by present moment. We are no longer consuming the reality that we have created and convinced ourselves is objective to us and outside of us. We are now taking responsibility, when we're liberated, to create each moment as its own unique creative expression and reality for ourselves. And in such a state, if we can get to that place, suffering starts to dissolve. Because suffering occurs in the attachment that life has to look this way, and we usually attach ourselves to this external way of living and being that we convince ourselves we didn't create in the first place, and it occurs to us as objective reality, and we attach ourselves to that. And so our whole safety and security, our whole sense of identity, all of that becomes projected outward. This is the projection piece again, against a subjective reality we've convinced ourselves is objective. When we take ownership and responsibility as creators of our life for the fact that we are creating everything in our life from within, suffering dissolves. There's no more an attachment to something external to yourself. You are standing in your power, finally realizing that you were the creator of this whole belief, projection, perception equation in the first place. And so projection is sort of the mediating linchpin between our belief system and our perceiving our belief system in the world, but we're the ones who projected it out to perceive it in the first place. So instead of doing that, we stop projecting. We realize that we are the creator of our belief system, and we just stop creating belief systems. And instead, we access our creative potential and power, our latent creative potential and power in each moment, and we become a response Or as the Taoists say, the Wu Wei principle of no forced action. We just exist in a state of no thingness from moment to moment to moment, interacting in the world without becoming of it. When we become of it, it's when we enter the world of fabricating, projecting these perceived realities that are just artifacts of our own creativity. Instead of doing that, we exist in a state of no thingness, from which is the only state any new creativity can occur. And therefore, in your response to life, you are actively creating each response moment by moment by moment, completely unattached to the objective world, because it's all made up anyway. So this is a really big concept to get, and I could speak about it for hours, but I'm not going to address it here. The invitation today, as we move into our observer watcher meditation, is to begin to observe those areas in your life where you are the architect and creator of your own suffering through projecting your belief systems and then perceiving them out in the world. Where in your life are you upset about something, and can you reverse engineer the upset to see how you were the creator of that upset in the first place, beginning with what you believed about how the person should have behaved, what the circumstance should have delivered to you, or how it should have occurred. And then projecting that out into the world and perceiving evidence that your belief system was quote unquote right. Where are you creating the conditions for your own suffering through engaging in this perceptual game? That's a prompt as we move into our observer watcher meditation this morning. Not for you to actively think about, but to invite your subconscious to reveal to you, as we are the watchers and observers in this meditation, of our thinking and of our emotions. You will have thoughts that will drift in and out of your awareness as we do this meditation. Just let them be. If there's an insight in that thought, a flash, a spark, a aha moment, observe it, note it, and continue to just be and observe and watch as your thoughts move in and out of your awareness like clouds in the sky. Your emotions will rise and fall during the meditation because thoughts activate emotions, and emotions then recursively activate thoughts. Don't chase your thoughts, don't repress nor chase your emotions. Let them rise and fall like waves. And just be in the no-thingness of your true self, all the while observing the thinking mind and the emotional body. For the next few minutes, take a few deep breaths, get in a comfortable seated position, and allow yourself the benefit of not being overwhelmed by the phenomenological and sensorial world, but allow yourself to merely exist in your own company, your own authentic company, not the company of your ideology, not the company of your belief systems, not the company of your reaction to the external world that you have created your relationship to, but just in the nothingness of your authentic self. For the next few minutes, we'll do this, and I'll see you on the other side. And welcome back, everybody. Reconnecting to the world without from the world within. Experiencing yourself as no thing, whole and complete, not needing or feel compelled to be in reaction to the world without, a world that we are the creators of through our beliefs, projection, and perception. Realizing we are the creators of this outer world experience, realizing that we are the creators of our experience of suffering, we have the choice available to us to instead create a world without that we get attached to, but rather to create a world within where we are standing in our power to respond in each moment as required from our truest, highest expression. Not needing to react from our conditioning. As creators, we have the power to respond from what aligns, from what is true for us, regardless of the constructs of the world without. As you go about your day to day, if you got any insights through this meditation of where you are creating suffering for yourself through the belief, projection, perception matrix, I invite you to consider how else you might engage with that experience. How you might reveal to yourself that you are the creator of that experience, and therefore of the experience of suffering. And how can you let go about what you're trapped in, what you're right about, and instead create a new way, a new path where you are just a response, an emptiness that responds in the moment from what is true for you. Wishing you all a wonderful day, and we will continue our meditation